Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. Today we're going to do a should you pull on the Rem and on the Von banners. So very excited. These banners should be dropping Monday night, and I am planning to stream for this. So I'm going to set up a stream. I am extremely hyped for these banners, so definitely want to stream. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So let's talk about each banner. Let's talk about what the characters do. We'll also talk about the side characters to see if any of them are worth it. I think each banner has one really good side character on it, so we'll talk about that. So first up here, we've got the Von banner. Now, Von here is getting a nice little rework. He's getting Echo. Von is actually going to be a really nice piece to have if you want him as a DPS character. Now, Von is primarily single target. He does have a little bit of splash, but I think of him as like a single target powerhouse, kind of like a Tifa. But he does have a little bit of utility in that he can inflict blind. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say Von, Tifa, Rex, Leo, they're all in kind of like the main DPS role, which you don't need like an overabundance of them unless you're doing lockout content. So I think in terms of if you want Von or not, it's going to depend on where your box needs are in terms of DPS characters. But if you like Von and you want a very strong single target DPS character, Von is very good. I would say the big flaw that Von has is that he's tied to several elements and he can get locked out. He can sometimes push through those with his, with whether it be through Brave Gains or his Brave Floor mechanic. Like, you can definitely get him through lockout fights, but it's not like the optimal way to play the game, right? So that's the one thing that you're going to kind of get into with Von, is that you have to worry about elemental lockout. But I do really like Von. He's a really nice powerhouse character. I'm glad I have mine fully built, so I'm going to be able to just rock him and like do some cool things. I may even redo a showcase. We'll see. Typically when a character just gets Echo, like, I usually don't redo the showcase, but he is getting some nice rework. So you can let me know in the comments if you want to see a Von redo on the showcase, or if you're okay with the one I already have. I'd actually be interested to know. If people want to see that, I might redo his guide. We'll see. Now for the side characters, we've got Lion and we've got Lena, right? Now, Lion, I would say, is probably the less notable character here. Not anybody you need to push for. Lion's cool, though. Like, I really like her. I'm excited for whenever she does get her FRBT, because she's a character I think I will go in on. She's a character that she's pretty much primarily a damage dealer. She does have, like, this bully follow-up, and it does dispel, I believe. So she has some nice utility with, like, that dispel. But in terms of being, like, mainly a damage dealer, once again, I talk about this, LD-only characters just really don't cut it as damage dealers, right? So anytime you see a side banner character that's main role is damage, you really want to wait on them until they get their BTFR, because that's when they're going to be notable, right? Now, Lena, on the other hand, is actually a very useful piece you could use as a side banner character. She's a support character with some Brave Gains. The thing I think I like most about Lena is her Windrake's Ward, which basically makes it so she can't be debuffed. Now, that being said, we have a way more powerful character in Aerith who pretty much does the same thing. So if you have Aerith, there's like really no need for Lena. And I don't think Lena, even though I think she's a good side character, I don't think she's worth going in on here just to get Lena, right? If you want Von, then go in on the banner. And then if you get Lena on the side, she is a nice LD only character worth building, because as a support character, I think she is worth using, right? So now let's go ahead and look at the Rem side. Now, this is the banner I'm going to be going ham on. I think I'm going to jump in with gems here. Rem, for me, is a personal favorite, and kind of one of the rules with DFFOO is you usually summon for your favorites. The thing I love about this game is, while there is a meta, like some characters are better than others, every character is good enough to like be impactful and like beat the hardest content, right? So you're always safe going for favorites. Like, I think it's pretty rare that a new character comes out and it's like they're outright bad. Like, that's pretty rare that happens. So I would say as long as you like the character and you build them, like, you're gonna have fun with them. So for me, it's a bonus because Rem is a favorite, but I also think she is just flat out a really, really good character, right? So Rem is a character, her main mechanic is swap turns, which she enables other characters to take her turns. She applies a nice buff when she does it. She has very good auras and support. So she enables other characters on the team to take more turns. Now, one thing with Rem is she's only as good as your team is. So if you don't have like a really strong DPS with her to like take the turn, she's not as good. But being that Rem now has her own FRBT, like, her damage itself is actually gonna be pretty good. But I would still think of Rem as like a supporting role. You wouldn't really, I would say, usually want to use her as your main DPS, but she does a nice little follow-up attack that she gets with her LD. Like, anytime she does an action, she's gonna do a little follow-up, which is really nice. She has Probably one of the strongest burst heals in the game in her Cure attack, which is literally just a giant burst heal, free instant turn, force charging move, applies an attack buff. So like very, very nice, right? So that's Rem's base kit, right? But now we got BTFR. So she's going to have the nice echo to kind of go with the whole kit. But I really like her BT effect. Her BT effect gives everybody zombie mode, essentially, where nobody in the party can die. Like, how powerful is that? Because now, in a way, Rem is kind of a tank. Because you literally have a mode where your party just cannot die. And the nice part about Rem having this zombie mode is she's got the really powerful burst heals to back it up. So, like, if you're in a really hard Shinryu fight that's really aggressive, where maybe you want to tank, you could bring Rem as your support / tank, right? Have the BT mode up when the enemies are being very aggressive. And then the thing is Rem has the power to very quickly heal back so that you meet the HP requirement for the fight. So I really, really like that. The other thing that's really abusable with Rem is while her BT effect is up, anytime she takes a turn, she's going to fully recharge everyone's EX gauge. Now, this can be very abusable with characters that have strong EX effects. So an example I talked about earlier was like Enna Crow. Her EX is actually turn deletion, but she's very slow charging. So you could take a character like that maybe has a slower charging EX and really abuse the crap out of it. So you can just think of all the fun characters in the game that have very strong EXs, and Rem is going to make it spammable. So between the spammable EXs, right, the undead mode, the very strong base kit she already had with support and swap turns and cure, like, Rem is a fantastic pickup. I really, really love Rem, right? Now, on the side characters here, we've got, Palom, and we've got Yang. Now, Palom, to me, is a throwaway character. He's a generic, like, he's an ice damage dealer, does a little bit of debuffing, a little bit, of side things, but like he's mainly just a damage dealer, an LD only damage dealer. He's honestly never really been that impressive. So yeah, just not a fan of Palom right now. He's a character that desperately needs like a BTFR and very powerful damage to become relevant. So he would kind of fall into that lion category of like, yeah, it's LD only character. They do a few nice things on the side, but like basically just a damage dealer, you really aren't going to use them, right? Yang, on the other hand, I would say is the best side banner character in the set, for sure. Yang is off-turn, and we all know how powerful off-turn is. And Yang is very abusable with speedy characters, and actually combos really well with Rem, right? Because what you can do, Yang's the type of character where you want to set up his LD, because his LD is what gives him the follow-ups, right? And then what you do is you could have Rem on the team and then a really powerful DPS. And we could use Vaughn as an example, right? Like Vaughn or Tifa, or even like Rex, right? Oh, like, dude, Rem with Rex is kind of crazy too, because Rem can keep giving Rex turns, and he does like that big, huge attack before he attacks every time, which is kind of crazy, right? So the idea is like with Yang, if you really want to extend his effect, you could use his LD, give him the follow-ups, have Rem just keep swapping turns with your main damage dealer, taking a lot of turns and really abusing Yang's off turn. Yang is also a character that works very well with Quina, because if you're doing max HP damage on all the follow-ups, that's very powerful as well. So Yang isn't, I'm not going to say Yang's like a must get. Like, if you don't want Rem, don't pull here just for Yang, because there are plenty of good off turns in the game. You probably already have some in your box. But I would say if you're a newer player, this is an excellent banner to pull on, because you're filling several roles that like standard teams want, which one of the main roles is healing in support, and then the other main role is off turn, right? So you're getting a really top tier support character here, you're getting a really good off turn, and then if you went on the other side and pulled Vaughn, or maybe you wait for Astos, or maybe you pulled Rex, I mean, a combination of DPS, Rem, and Yang, that's a great team build, right? And Yang as an LD only character, these off turn characters, they're the type of characters where you're not really sacrificing a lot on your team, them only being an LD character, because you still get a lot out of them with their off turn. Now, sure, if you have core and you've got Echo and BT to back up the follow-ups, that's even way better. So that could be the other thing is like, yeah, if you just got core, you definitely don't need Yang. But once again, lockout content, things like that, having a lot of off-turn options is very good. And Yang is quite a good character. So I would say I would actually highly recommend this Rem Banner. And what I talked about in my kind of should you pull or my pull plans for the month, I would say Rem and Iris are my two highest recommendations, just because as support characters, These are characters that have the most longevity. They go the longest without dying out. They're usable for a lot longer. So you're really getting the best bang for your buck here. So I will highly recommend Rem. Is it a must pull? No, I don't think anything this month is a must pull. To me, the next must pull is Astos. So until Astos, I think everything is really optional. But like I said, there was a lot of really, really nice stuff this month. So I would highly recommend the Rem side. And then the Von side, I would say, if you're choosing like one of the DPSs this month and this is the one you want, then Von is definitely fine to go on. But you definitely don't need him, especially if you have other DPS characters. So anyways, guys, let me know if you're going to pull or not. Let me know if you're going to come to my stream on Monday. I'd love to see a lot of you there. Very excited to stream again for my girl Rem. So anyways, guys, let me know if you're hyped. I'm pretty hyped for this banner. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.